The top hog, Brett Bielema, in his 5th season as the head coach of the Razorbacks. And he's got a 5th-year senior at quarterback in Austin Allen, a homegrown product. In come the Horned Frogs of Gary Patterson, who won his 150th game a week ago. And he's got a 5th-year senior starting quarterback, too, in Kenny Hill. We're about to call the Hogs in Fayetteville. Woo Pig Suey.
Here comes Kenny Hill, block for Hicks. Kenny Hill, let's go! 2:05 to go. Austin fires to the goal line. Hatcher's there. Touchdown, Arkansas! Hatcher's going to throw the football, and the 2-point conversion successful. And we're tied at 28. There's the snap. Kicks it on the way. Blocked it. They blocked it. Allen running right side. Austin fighting at the goal line at the 1. Touchdown! Arkansas wins!
We can only hope for those kind of thrills today as the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Fayetteville and Razorback Stadium. The hometown Razorbacks against the number 23 Horned Frogs of Texas. An old Southwest Conference matchup. This is the 70th meeting between these two teams. Sellout crowd, 72,000. It's a beautiful day in Fayetteville. And we welcome you, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. I think every college football fan in the world knows that the man that held this mic and wore this headset for almost 2 decades, our great friend Vern Lundquist, is not in this booth today. Hopefully he and Nancy are home right now having a late lunch with their feet up on the couch in Steamboat Springs. But if y'all don't mind, I'm going to try to carry these two things for a few years and try to do it with the same class that Vern did for 17 seasons. For 11 of those seasons, his partner in the booth is my partner right now, Gary Danielson. My new partner is also my old partner. You're stuck with me for the second time, man.
Well, we had such a great affinity for Vern. The whole conference loved him. He loved the Dallas Cowboys. And so today I feel like I'm going from Roger Staubach to Troy Aikman. Another Hall of Famer. I'm thrilled to have you. The league is thrilled to have you.
Thanks, partner. Let's talk about the game. We saw what happened a year ago. It's kind of a highlight for Arkansas. Then their season ended badly with 2 losses at the end when they had big leads. TCU sub 500 is not a Gary Patterson team, so they're trying to rectify it here.
Sometimes teams go down the schedule. Tough game, game we must have. Both of these squads have circled this game, must have it. They got tough schedules at the end of the year. I think both teams are saying, if we don't have this one, it's going to be a long season.
We saw the guys that are going to lead the way, 2 5th-year senior quarterbacks, and they both have had their moments of being brilliant.
Yeah, up and down maybe, but Kenny Hill has been mostly up when he plays Arkansas. And no matter what uniform he wears, whether he's with Texas A&M or TCU, if he saw them, horses for courses, Kenny Hill has had it his way against Arkansas. Austin Allen last year had to carry the team maybe a little too much from the beginning of the season. He was hot, but then against this team, TCU, he had to do it in the 4th quarter, and he did it in a clutch late. Drove him down, got a 2-point reception. In overtime, he throws a touchdown pass and then scores one to tie this game. Both quarterbacks might have been inconsistent at times, but not in this game.
We'll take a 2 overtime game today if they want to give us one. We head down to the field. 3rd member of our team is Allie LaForce. Allie.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Gary. Listen, before we talk quarterbacks, I'd like to officially welcome Brad Nessler to our SEC on CBS crew. You referenced earlier that you're working with your old partner. I know 27 years ago you were at CBS working college football. Before you went to ABC and ESPN, we did some digging, and we found a pretty classic picture. Look at that hair. Now, your camaraderie, that hasn't changed at all. You guys have been best friends ever since, but maybe a little more hair gel you were using back in the day.
I got to tell you, I had better hairspray because the wind started blowing up in the booth, and mine was going east, the wind was going west.
I think I'm going to start dyeing my hair again.
No, don't do it.
No?
That'll make me look bad.
All right.
Back to Allie.
Now we can talk quarterbacks. Both of these seniors are trying to change the narrative of their careers. For Austin Allen, he may have passed for the most yards in the SEC, but the end of the season collapse for Arkansas is all the focus he needs to have an even better year this year. And for Kenny Hill, the 13 interceptions in a losing season is a far cry from that record-breaking debut we saw at Texas A&M, which feels like a decade ago. And I asked offensive coordinator Sonny Cumbie if he can feel the chip on his shoulder. He said absolutely. Both of these guys still have a lot to prove, and this is their last shot at doing it.
It all started with Kenny at A&M, and he was Kenny Thrill Hill. They got rid of the nickname, and then on to TCU, and he's had big numbers last year, as Gary said, in the 2 outings, 1 a win, 1 a loss. It's perfect, 82 and sunny. Light wind and a sellout crowd of 72,000. The series history, 70th all-time meeting, and of course most of those were back in the old Southwest Conference. But they did play a year ago to that thrilling double overtime. TCU won the toss and deferred. So they'll kick away to the Razorbacks to start our season on CBS. Cole Bunsey to kick. And that is Deion Stewart at the goal line. He'll take it a yard deep. Stewart out across the 25. It's all coming back, though. Flags all over at the 20-yard line. Reggie Smith is our referee holding on Arkansas, so they're going to have themselves in a hole for their first offensive set of the second game of the season. Arkansas, a 49-7 win in their opener for Brett Bielema. 63-0 win on the other side for the Horned Frogs. As we take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups, we talked about Austin Allen. His brother Brandon, of course, preceded him. He's a homegrown product, always wanted to be a Razorback, and there's his numbers in the last meeting against the Horned Frogs. Pretty impressive, including that touchdown run from 5 yards out in double overtime that ended it. But now he's got to start at his own 10-yard line. Devois Whaley is with him in the backfield. Play action on first down. The quick throw and bobbled Jared Cornelius. He's their #1 receiver. Didn't play much at all coming off an injury, and he's 0 for 1 today. The rest of the Arkansas starting lineup, they got a great one at a very important spot in senior Frank Ragnow. On his way maybe to the Remington Trophy as the best center in college football.
And I think Arkansas should be happy he came back for another year, considering he's lined up right next to a true freshman.
It's good to have him. Yeah, and Ty Clary. Now it's Whaley. Didn't get much. Maybe picked up 3. Nico Small, the guy that made the stop as we take a look at the Horned Frogs. Defensively, Ty Summers and Traven Howard, 2 great linebackers. Howard led the Big 12 in tackles last year with 130. So the first third down of week 2 for the Razorbacks. They went 7 out of 10 a week ago against FAMU, but that was against Florida A&M. No offense to them. This is a little different group when you're looking at the TCU defense. Third down and 7. Allen getting some pressure from behind. The ball is out. I think his arm was going forward, but they're scrambling for it right now to make sure. TCU thinks they have the football.
I think it was Ben Meneghu, number 15. Just a 3-man rush coming from the outside and knocks it out of his hand. Gary Patterson has to be delighted, rushing 3 men and able to get a sack and a fumble on the second pass of the day.
Wow, and you get a second look at a close-up there. Luckily, Austin Allen kept his arm moving forward. That was really close to being a fumble. And now it's a punting situation for Blake Johnson in his own end zone. And Quavante Turpin is a dangerous return man, one of the best in the Big 12. He stands back at the 50. He's going to have to fair catch this one, but great field position. TCU takes over at the Razorbacks' 45-yard line. Not exactly the start Arkansas was looking for. So let's take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the guys in white and purple. We talked about them already, but Kenny Hill has had some brilliant moments, and as Gary said, he kind of likes looking across the field at Arkansas. 1-1. The win was when he was at Texas A&M, and the loss was a double overtime a year ago. The big numbers in those 2 games. And a great spot for Kenny to start his offense at the Arkansas 45. Kyle Hicks nowhere to be found right now. It's an empty backfield. And a throw, nice quick slant to Desmond White. TCU, the rest of their offense looks like this. Kyle Hicks, who did not play last year, actually was their leading rusher and receiver a season ago. That doesn't happen in too many offenses. Second down and 2, and Hicks is in there with Kenny. They fake it to him. They flip it out in the flat to White again, and White got out of the grasp of the first tackler, and he's got a first down at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, and that's one of those modern-day RPOs as TCU dials it up, especially after a first down.
High snap, but they get it to Hicks, and he has to work his way to the 25-yard line as you look at the rest of the Arkansas defense. They've got a freshman out there playing corner in Cameron Curl because Ryan Pulley suffered a season-ending injury a week ago, and he was one of their leaders on defense. By the way, on that pass by Austin Elliott, it was ruled a fumble but recovered by the Razorbacks. So indeed, his arm might have been going through, but the ball was already out. Just wanted to clarify that. Second down and 6. Hill rolls to throw, fires, got his man in and out of his hands though. Great play as Desmond White was the intended receiver and Ramirez ripped it out of their gear.
Yeah, and it was actually a rocket throw against the zone and throws it, and at the last second Ramirez gets his left hand out there and then pries it loose. Everyone did their job on that one. Just Ramirez did it just a shade better.
Captain of the defense, Ramirez with a big play, and it forces a third down and 6, and the crowd comes to life for the Razorbacks defense. Kenny Hill trying to relay a message to his offensive line. Flares it out to Hicks. Can he get away from the Arkansas defense? Yes, he can. And he's inside the 10. It's first and goal.
That was a called screen all the way that time. You saw the offensive lineman come out late. They were going to get the ball. This was a little bit of window dressing and then a screen pass. Perfect call. And that's speed from the backfield. No matter where they hit it, it's noticeable right away.
Yeah, he got 18 yards in a hurry. Down to the 7. First and goal. 2 tight ends set right now for TCU. You won't see that a lot. You'll see a lot of 4 wideouts. Jet sweep here. Turpin trying to weave his way down around the 5. You take a look at the Verizon Red Zone. TCU last year, touchdown percentage 55%. They've got second and goal here from the 5. As they line up in a hurry, you're not going to see a huddle out of these guys for the most part today.
They do substitute a little bit more than people think, and Arkansas is going to try to match substitutes, but so far it's been full speed ahead.
This is all Kenny Hill. Down around the 1 with his helmet coming off. And Hill's going to have to go out. Kind of changes things at the 1-yard line.
Well, they got a pretty good runner as a backup. Sean Robinson, a true freshman. Helmet comes off, got to go out one play. TCU could save it with a timeout, but they say, no, Sean can handle this.
Well, like you said, Sean can handle it. He had 3 carries for 43 yards last week in his duty, but he goes out, spread to the top of the screen right now. Looks like they're going to wild snap it.
Yeah, anybody can go out there and stand out there, I think, right?
Olanalua might be the guy that's going to take the snap here, and now Arkansas is changing up.
Wildcat right there.
He's just dancing in place right now.
Ness, I could still do this. Just stand out there as a wide receiver.
There's where the football is. Third and goal at the 1-yard line. And Shewo Olanalua is apparently the guy that's going to get the call right here, number 33. They've got a pocket for him, that's for sure. And he walks in. Nobody touched him. Olanalua for the touchdown.
Boy, that's cold water in the face of Arkansas, who feels they're the more physical team. And what happens here, they just line up and blow them off the line of scrimmage. A walk-in from the 1-yard line, and they rush 3 against the Arkansas offense and get a sack, and then they jam it down your throat. That's cold water in the face.
Sure is. Extra point. Jonathan Song, he was 8 for 8 extra points a week ago, and he's got it right down the middle. That was pretty easy. TCU on the board already. 8 plays, 45 yards. Olanalua, 1-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Frogs. Gary in his 17th year as a head coach, his 20th year all time at TCU. They got a 7-0 lead here early. Deion Stewart is going to take a knee this time, and it'll be better field position because on the first kickoff return they had the holding call. Well, this time he gets to work from the 25.
If Arkansas can't run the ball, it's going to be maybe a long day. They're going unbalanced here.
David Williams right now, the grad transfer from South Carolina in the backfield. He'll get the pitch. He had a couple of touchdown runs last week, and he's got a good tough run of almost 5 yards here. Then Banagoo made the stop.
Talking to Dan Enos, he felt part of the game plan that Arkansas had to do was run at the 2 smaller corners for TCU. Both of them go 170, 175 pounds. They're built more for the Big 12 pass-happy league. He wants to run the edge.
Second down, a long 5. Play action for Allen. Steps up in the pocket and goes deep and overshoots everybody. Intended receiver was Deion Stewart. Good coverage. And it'll bring up third down. Riley Williams, who would have been their starter at tailback, a missing piece for the Arkansas Razorbacks. He's now kind of helping out as a coach on the sideline. Retired from football after a neck injury. Actually came back from a neck injury and played again, and then got hurt again in spring practice. And we wish him the best in the future because he just had to hang it up. There was no sense in continuing, and the possibility of a career life-threatening injury. So they miss him, but they've got good backs. And Debois Whaley, Chase Hayden, the freshman, will see him as we go along. And right now it's Williams, as I said, in there with Austin Allen. Third down and 5. Short throw, nice catch.
And they're going to get interference, so that left hand hooked him.
Cheyenne O'Grady made a great catch.
Pass interference. Defense, number 19.
Yeah.
The penalty is declined. Result of the play. First down.
Well, that's what Austin Allen can do, though. If one thing he brings to the table is his confidence, and more importantly, the coaching staff's confidence that he'll attack the middle of the field. A lot of coaches in college are a little bit nervous about letting their quarterback throw in the middle. If you're brave enough to do it, there's matchups to take advantage of.
So first down at the 35. And it's Williams straight up the middle. Big run, 9-yard pickup. Williams, the biggest guy they have in the backfield at 230, and he used all of it there.
Nobody touched Williams till he got about 5 yards downfield. Kind of a draw isolation play, and right at the end of the play, he lands on Deion Stewart's ankle, and Deion Stewart lips off.
That's friendly fire getting rolled up by your own tailback, who got 9 yards. Second down and 1. We'll check on Stewart when we can. Williams again, both hands around the football, and he's just taking Frogs with him for a ride into TCU territory. First down.
When we talk about RW3 and not having him, has made an opportunity for David Williams, and he's been a surprise and a little bit of a delight for this football team, giving them the tough yards inside.
He was a pretty good back at South Carolina. There's just thoughts that maybe he didn't get along with Will Muschamp that well, whatever, but he's ended up here, and it's turned out beautifully.
Who can't get along with Will Muschamp? Come on.
I knew that was coming. First down at the 49. Already 3 carries and a couple of first downs for Williams. It's Debois Whaley in there now. They fake the pitch on a bootleg and down the middle, wide open. This will be an Arkansas touchdown. Jonathan Nance. "49 yards, and we're a point away from an even game."
If you're a safety, your first job is to play it safe. That's why they call you a safety. And in this situation, watch the safety take a step up, and boom, he's by Nico Small, and it's an easy pitch and catch and a big play. And it's not like TCU wasn't ready for that. Play action crossing routes, that's all they practiced.
Cole Headland with a point after, up and good.
What happens when you run the ball up the middle for 4, 9, and 7? You're going to get the play action pass.
And You talk about a way to come back from being in a 7-0 hole in a hurry. 75 yards in 6 plays. I was wondering if Nance gave a throat slash thing. He did the arm cross there, and then that sure looked like it to me.
I think Kenny Hill thinks it looks like one, doesn't he?
Kenny got one of those last year in this game.
TCU people are saying it looks like one for sure.
Either way, we're tied at 7. Connor Limpert will kick off. Devontae Turpin and Sean Nixon wait back deep. This one should be returnable. Turpin from about the 4. Devontae following his blockers. Here he goes.
And
great return.
Acceleration.
He's got another gear, doesn't he?
Remember, this is a Big 12 crew, and they handle it every week, and I think they're just a shade quicker than the SEC officials.
They have to do it every week. You're right. Here's a throw. And another nice gain out to the 40 to John Garce.
And, of course, TCU's offensive coordinator doing the whole thing that Sonny Cumbie grew up in it, basically, playing
Texas
quarterback.
Tech.
Yep.
Now in a pistol set. Play action. Hill wants a big one. Down the middle. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Santos Ramirez. Coming the other way. Flags are down, but a big play by the Arkansas defense.
Well, I got to tell you, I watched this. I thought he was open. I thought it was a bad finish of his route in the middle of the field.
During the return, holding number 1 of the intercepting team. 10-yard penalty. Arkansas keeps the ball. First down.
Gare for the second time, a great defensive play in the secondary.
Yes, watch how open the receiver is as he goes out. But now stop it right there, okay? If he'd have cut across straight, I think he has it. But watch how he fades on the play. When he fades, you're able to cut underneath the ball and make the interception. Not a great throw, I'll tell you. But the receiver did not help it. Devontae Turpin really fast, but not a disciplined route.
That was a 50-50 ball that goes Arkansas's way.
And, of course, the hold obviously was on the return, so it's Arkansas's ball. Still
Nice field position, though, their own 42-yard line as we approach the 4-minute mark of the quarter in a tie game. Debois Whaley. Tell you what, other than David Williams, the sledding's been pretty tough for the Arkansas running backs.
Yeah, and how about Ramirez, Brad? I mean, 2 big plays already in this game.
Yeah.
He knocks down the pass earlier and comes up with a great 50-50 ball, and he grabbed it that time.
He had 5 tackles and a pass broken up a year ago in the double overtime game, and he's already got 2 huge plays in the first quarter.
That's L.J. Collier that made the play right there. He's going to say more defensive end in this game because of the running attack. He usually plays defensive tackle and end. Today he'll be featured more as an end.
2 tight ends, eye backfield, and it's still a pass. And it's Allen, and he got it out to his tight end, Patton, on the run. And he blasts through the sideline at about the 25-yard line. First down.
David Whaley here, number 21. The running back saves this play. It was a corner blitz. Watch him take on the blitz right here. That's what gives the time for Austin Allen to make the throw. Takes it on, doesn't have to be pretty, enough to allow the tight end to get there and make the positive play. You love it. Your tailback picks up the corner blitz.
First down at the 11-yard line. Nice cut back by Whaley, and he's to the 5.
Well, he just buried somebody quickly on that one, too. That time he gets Sammy Douglas, the inside linebacker. Watch the center, get to the second level, and just smother his guy. Sammy Douglas last year in the tape, backdoored, meaning came behind blocks many times. He didn't come from behind on that block.
Made him look like Sammy Davis Jr. on that one. The 5-yard line, second down at 4. They can get a first down. Arkansas right at the 1. Whaley the single setback. Nance the motion man. And it's all Whaley, but it's all TCU defense. Great job. Banagoo was there. So was Nico Small from the secondary.
Again, very aggressive. Is when you talk to Gary Patterson about his defense, he says we play defense like other people play offense, meaning we call plays to their offense. We run their tendencies. Certain formations we will attack, certain formations will go to zone. On that one, they attacked it perfectly.
In the red zone, Austin Allen was great a year ago. 19 touchdown passes, led the SEC. Trips to the top of the screen, and now they bring a motion man into the slot. They're going to roll Austin Allen that way to give him an option. Waiting till the last moment. He's got to throw it away.
Yep, great coverage.
Rico Evans was the guy that applied some pressure.
There's a Haku number 31, did a good job, Ridwan. Both of them matched up, played physical to the outside, had a two-man route to the outside, and both of the TCU corners did a good job of smothering receiver.
That's the end of the first quarter. A fourth down is coming up. We'll return to Fayetteville after this message and a word from your local station. Tie game in Fayetteville. Yet this year was all extra points last week, and he'll try from 23 yards away. And a kick is no good. Well, they had kicking problems a year ago, and they pick up right where they left off, and that will make a coach do that.
That's exactly right.
That was a chip shot.
Yeah, it's basically an NFL extra point or less than.
Just past the left upright, no good, so an opportunity for Arkansas to lead. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Alley's on the field. Good first quarter, you take that play away. The second quarter hadn't started great.
You know, the way Arkansas started, I thought they recovered well. Dan Enos found a little bit of a running game, not a lot,
right,
and then went to the play-action pass. No big surprise. But this game is really highly competitive. Both the secondaries have impressed me.
Right.
The guys out there are fighting every throw, contesting every throw. It's the only chance you got nowadays in modern football.
David Williams has been the best tailback so far, and the two tight ends for Arkansas have certainly helped their cause. But now it's Kenny Hill's turn again for TCU from the 20 after the missed field goal. And they're going to go straight up the middle to Hicks, who got about 3, maybe 4.
And I really think long-term, as good as they may think Kenny Hill has improved and has his confidence and he's going to have a great senior year, if they can't help him with some more running game, I just don't see how long-term Kenny's going to give them where they want to go.
Hicks had over 1,000 last year, but still not what some teams have in that capacity. Here he is, and he follows his Broncos well. Going to be a couple yards shy. We'll say 1 yard shy of the first down. Well, all of you that are in the path of Hurricane Irma, we certainly hope that wherever you are, you're safe. This is what's happened because of the storm this week with canceled games. But more importantly, and my partner's home is right in the line of the eye of the hurricane, and I thank you, Gary, for being here. I know Christy and the whole gang is bunkered down back home, or hunkered down back home, and hopefully everybody's okay. Third down and a yard. And it's a first down run by Hicks. And with TCU in here from Fort Worth, we wish the best to all the people in Texas, too, who are just trying to get over that hurricane. And we got Jose, I guess, behind Irma. It's been a heck of a 2 weeks of weather.
We were hoping to talk hurricane football, not hurricanes.
Exactly. Nice run this time by Hicks.
Very patient, saved his speed until he needed it. The big offensive line, you know, TCU gets stereotyped as small. Well, they're not small in the offensive line. They're pretty stout up there, and they just kind of mashed that time, and Hicks just patiently waited, and made a big play out of it.
Yeah, Gary said to us last night, we had 322 and 340 at the tackles and 358 at the guard. What do you want from us as far as size? Second down and 3. Hicks again right there with Hill in the backfield. He'll get another carry. That was not Hicks, it was Anderson, I beg your pardon, and he's got a first down out to the 49-yard line.
Well, going fast is good when it works, but running the ball and going fast is beautiful. And I know Gary Patterson still has that defensive mentality of when he moves the chains and runs the ball a little bit, eventually that passing game will open up.
First down at the 49, and they're working Anderson, and he's working that Arkansas defense. Another good run inside the 45 to the 44-yard line.
Well, that's the shocking thing for a Brett Bielema defense. Last year, this Arkansas defense ranked 94th in college football in rush defense.
They gave up 206 yards a game. And then they lost 3 of their top 4 tacklers. That never helps. Some of those numbers were inflated by the Auburn game. They gave up 543.
Yes, that was a bruising game for everybody.
Second down and 3. Anderson, he's going to be close. About a half-yard shy, maybe. Again, Arkansas missing one of their big playmakers. Brian Pulley suffered a season-ending injury. His right pectoral happened in the second quarter of the Arkansas game against Florida A&M. Florida A&M last week in their win, and he's out for the year, and he was one of their leaders.
Well, Sonny Cumbie loves to throw the balls. We talked about he grew up under Mike Leach. But now Mike Leach is calling in and go, who are you? Just ran the ball 8 straight plays.
We talked about the morphing of Mike Leach and how many guys that he's had an influence on in that passing game. And really what they always said is make the routine plays. Right. You don't have to be fancy all the time. Just make the catch when it's thrown to you. First down at the 40. Hill. Oh, that one, that's a routine play. And Desmond White dropped it.
It's exactly what Sonny Cumbie said, and it came right for Mike Leach. Master the boring. Here's the boring. A curl route. Everybody gets so excited about doing all these fancy things. But that time the slot just went right down the middle, hooked up, and dropped it.
8 runs on this drive so far, though. That was the first pass. Second down at 10. They fake it to Anderson. Hill going to throw it to the other guy that came out of the backfield. And that was Kennedy Snell, a true freshman, who the first time he touched it a week ago was kind of lightning in a bottle.
For sure. 3 million lightning shots, I heard, right?
I guess his touchdown run, 3 million social hits.
He ran like, what, 75 yards to gain 10?
Yeah, something like that. 11th play of the drive coming up. Started at their own 20 after that missed field goal, remember?
I have to assume it's 4-down territory here.
They got 4 wideouts to the right of Kenny Hill, and he fakes it that way. He's going to run it himself for the first down and more.
Didn't need it. 4 downs, did they? No. Kenny Hill hurt him with his legs last year. Critical plays. They didn't design a lot of runs for him, but when they needed a big play, they took advantage of what he could do.
That was a well-designed play, and having all those wideouts out there, and you thought for sure, at least I did, that they were going that way with the pass.
A lot more veterans on both offensive line, but the TCU offensive line is really showing in this game that they can stand up to the defensive line for Arkansas.
First down at the 26 at the 10-minute mark. Anderson got a couple, maybe 3 actually, popped out the backside. Gets it down to the 23-yard line. Anderson had 67 yards and a career-high 13 carries in their opener last week as they had a cakewalk. They didn't have to play many of their starters. Most of their starters played about 28, 29 plays last week in the lopsided win to start their season.
Let's see if Randy Ramsey, number 9, can make a difference here. Number 10, excuse me.
Had a sack last week in the opener. He's going to backpedal, though, and Hill's going to run it again. Cuts to the far side, got a little bit of a block from his wide receiver. It's still going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, but that's successful.
Yeah.
Got half of it back, put him in position. If they want to go, 4 downs here, they can, or they can think field goal. Arkansas is being very disciplined. Anytime the Horned Frogs substitute, Arkansas substitutes a nose tackle.
Well, Lula got to walk out in a second and bring in an extra wide receiver because they were so close to the TCU sideline. He's the guy in the slot to the right. That's number 10, Desmond White. He just kind of snuck in there after Lula went to the sideline. They exchange a big guy for a little guy on 3rd and 10. Hill all day to throw. Wide open. Man inside the 10, and the ball is out. Did it go out of bounds, though?
It did. Before it was recovered, I think it went out of bounds.
At the 4-yard line, 1st and goal, it was Sean Nixon that made the catch.
He bobbled the catch to begin with, and then I think Ramirez is the one that knocks it out again.
Boy, one more foot over there, and Arkansas would have another turnover. It was. What a great game Ramirez is having as far as poking the ball out or intercepting it, but that one took a funny hop out at the 4-yard line.
And then by the time it's corralled, he's standing out of bounds.
Yep. So first and goal.
How about that pickup for TCU, though? 2 plays.
And this one's a walk-in again. This time Kyle Hicks from 4 yards out. Touchdown TCU.
Boy, I came here thinking that if Arkansas was going to win the game, they would try to run the ball up the middle. I really didn't think it would be TCU running the ball up the middle.
And again, like the earlier touchdown, basically, one guy got a hand on it, but it was too late.
And the last time it was out of the Wildcat. This time it wasn't, but it was the same play in reality.
Jonathan Song ate for the point after. And he's 10 for 10 on extra points through 2 weeks. So that's where it's going to stand at the break. End of the first half. TCU on the road, leading 14-7. Gary Patterson gathering his troops. Pirelli's interview with the coach, you can go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. Good game. TCU with a lead on the road as we head to our New York studios. Adam Zucker and the guys. Just about set to start the third quarter here in Fayetteville. TCU leading by a touchdown. They'll get the football first to start the third quarter. You know, in the span of 12 days last month, we lost 3 of the greatest coaches in the history of this game. Dick McPherson, Eric Parsegian won a national championship at Notre Dame. And then the guy that roamed the sidelines here in Fayetteville for so many years and won a national championship as well in 1964. Frank Broyles, who passed away last month. Those guys just 6 days apart in passing. Frank was 92. There's what he did here in Fayetteville. Longtime athletic director, longtime analyst with our friend Keith Jackson for that matter, and this is what the band did at halftime. Pretty cool. Frank Broyles, who passed away at 92. 3 legends. And then about a week ago we lost Rolly Massimino and Jed Heathcote in the same week. Frank Broyles Field here in Fayetteville as we start the third quarter. TCU will have the football first. Connor Limpert to kick. And TCU is going to bring it out. Got to get Turpin on the ground. It took him a while, but they did. But he's all the way out near the 38-yard line. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson back with you in Fayetteville as we have a flag down on the field. We'll check that in a second. Gary, you know, you look at the stats, and you said it earlier. It was supposed to be pound, hogs, pound. It's try to pound and nothing's happening. And it's TCU that's kind of pounding things.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 rushes for TCU in the first half or 84 yards, and it all goes down to third down. 7 for 9 for TCU on third down. That's how they were able to hold the ball. That's nothing new. Last year in the game, they were 12 for 19 and 1 for 6 on third down for Arkansas. That formula is what costs all those plays for TCU.
Arkansas had about 3 good offensive plays, and that's about it.
Right.
The flag was a legal block in the back.
I mean, man, that chip shot field goal is reminiscent of last year when they could have almost put them away with a chip shot field goal, and TCU roared back in the fourth quarter, and Austin Allen had to save it at the end of the game.
So starting at the 15 instead of way out where they would have been without the penalty is Kenny Hill, the quarterback. And he throws it out in the flat immediately. Going to be about a 2-yard gain. It's fumbled out of bounds. We check in with Allen.
Guys, I talked to both coaches, and after those 37 yards rushing, Brett Bielema told me we have to get back to playing Arkansas football. He said if the team plays in this game like they practice, he has no concern, but they didn't play to that level. For TCU, Patterson said he liked how they stopped the run, but he wants them to do better on the play action and the screens and quit turning the ball over on offense.
Good stuff, Allie.
Yeah, that turnover, that's why he didn't get to run those plays at the end of the half.
Exactly. When they had timeouts to work with. Hill fires far side. Nice throw and catch, first down. Jalen Rager will pick up the first, so now they got better field position out at the 27.
Good throw, true freshman on true freshman. Rager against Cameron Curl right there. Good throw, good coverage. Accurate throw, did it. Look how slow that Arkansas substitutes their players in. Since TCU substituted, Brett Bielema says, I'm going to take my biggest, slowest guy I got and trot him out there.
And that's the nose tackle. And Dijon Jackson came in for Austin Capps, and that did slow down TCU to the point where they're finally getting the snap right here. Play action, quick slant, nice throw again, and another first down to the Ars.
One of the things that all receivers love is that football right in their face mask. They watch it all the way in. It's like a catcher in baseball coming right at them, and they make the catch.
And with the opportunity to pick up first downs, they just keep hurrying it up out to the 49, 8-yard run by Hicks. Santos Ramirez brought him down, but they can just keep going tempo right now if they don't change up personnel. They do have a tight end in there in Cole Hunt. Second down and 2. Hicks cuts it outside, going to end up a yard shy thanks to Santos Ramirez. If Brett Bielema and Paul Rhodes had a whole bunch of number 9s, they'd have quite a squad, but he comes up holding his hamstring a little bit.
Well, let's see what kind of gut check here for this Arkansas defense. Theoretically, you know, the Brett Bielema's of the world believe that this spread offense has trouble on short yardage. Let's see if they can show that.
I would think this would be all Kenny Hill by himself. Hill's going to keep it, and he's got a first down himself. Gets it inside the 35-yard line to the 34.
That time the Arkansas front stunted inside. Good call. Watch him stunt right at the snap. Good call, good read. I doubt if it was a read play, but Kenny Hill kept it, probably a called keep.
Now Kenny is going to have a little miscommunication between him and his receiver, I guess, on that one. Jalen Austin looked like Kenny was thinking he was going to run an out, and he was just running a streak, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
And finally a little pressure. Dre Greenlaw, number 23, coming from the backside. Greenlaw very quiet in this football game. A tackling machine 2 years ago, injured last year. Very quiet in this game so far.
On this drive, they've mixed it well. 5 runs, 5 throws, second down.
They're tipping blitz. They
come off the corner.
Yep.
But Anderson ran right by a couple of those guys. Greenlaw did make the tackle that Gary just mentioned at the 31.
I'm not surprised. Paul Rose had to be thinking like I am, like, okay, I mean, I like to sit back, but sitting back eating popcorn ain't going to work against these guys.
So much has been made, and the fans have been waiting to see the 3-4 defense of Arkansas as they switched it up this year with Paul being the new defensive coordinator.
Well, that's because those talk shows. You got to talk for 11 months for. Believe me, I got to go on them all the time.
5 wide receivers in an empty backfield is Kenny Hill on a 3rd and 6. And it looks like Randy Ramsey wants to bring some heat off the near side corner for Arkansas. He's almost in a track stance.
They come again with 5.
Hill throws, first down. Turpin at the 20.
Turpin in the slot. He always lines up to the right. Paul Rhodes said we always have to know where he is, but he's a tough matchup man to man.
Just so quick into his breaks, got good hands.
And Kevin Richardson is really a safety. It's a tough matchup covering the fastest guy, or one of the 2 fastest guys that play for TCU.
TCU back in the red zone. That's Turpin in motion. He's going to set up now in the backfield for a second. They're going to flare it out to him. Got a nice block on the corner. Puts the brakes out, and then they put the brakes on him at the 17. Cole Hunt gave him a nice block, the tight end.
Cole Hunt was lined up wide, comes in, transfer from Rice, and they use him as like an H-back, fullback, tight end type player.
Cole, a younger brother of former All Big 12 center Joey Hunt, who played at TCU, so it's a family affair. There he is. Verizon red zone today. 2 trips, 2 touchdowns. Arkansas is hoping that doesn't happen again. Second down and 8. Anderson and Olanalua in the backfield. And it's Anderson following number 33. And he's got another first down if he doesn't end up in the end zone. Arkansas can't bring him down all the way to the 3-yard line. Tough run for a guy that's only 205.
Yeah. What do you mean? The Big 12 team is running the ball on us?
Wow.
That's the kind of look you get, both hands on the forehead. I got to give great kudos and discipline to Sonny Cumbie, excuse me. He is a passing guy.
But he knows what's working.
Exactly. I mean, why do it? Sonny Cumbie's going, all right, I'll do it.
First and goal, TCU trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. And the ball is on the ground. It's still out, and Arkansas, I think, has it.
I think the center misfired on it.
Briston Guidry has it for Arkansas.
Boy, you talk about making a mistake. I assume that's a TCU fan right there.
Looked like it hit his own leg when he tried to snap it.
Or he slipped out of his hand or something. I mean, it's not like TCU goes under center. Usually when that happens, you'd say, well, maybe the center thought the quarterback was center-quarterback exchange, but they don't do that. It had to have slipped.
A huge play by Guidry anyway, and now Arkansas, even though they're in a hole, at least they didn't give up another score, and they've got the ball back. Second TCU turnover.
And you go 15 plays and you come up empty.
And Whaley dives out for about 3.
Can we see if it did hit his leg?
Looked like it hit his left thigh.
He's looking back. I think it just slipped out of his hand. Hill runs in there. I thought he had it. Kenny Hill. He runs into the jet motion at the play and distracts him and doesn't get the ball.
Huge mistake when it looked like it was going to be 21-7.
I mean, if you're thinking on offense, you're TCU, think everything's going right, perfect, we're controlling the game, and all of a sudden you can't snap the ball.
Here's a pitch to Whaley trying to go wide this time. Boy, Devois has had to pay for everything he's earned today. Got about 2 more yards. It's going to be 3rd down.
Well, and the main game plan that Dan Enos thought he could, and actually Brent told us, we think we can get to the outside and get to their corners and make those corners tackle, has not been able to materialize.
You know, they've used Chase Hayden very little today. Gary, the freshman, who really has the most speed in their backfield.
He slipped on one play and it didn't look like he had. And remember, this Arkansas team 1 for 6 on 3rd down.
Be careful with the ball. Here comes the rush. Allen waits. He's going to run with it. He's going to get there. Are you kidding?
I know. How about that? Right now, Gary Patterson is going, what is going on? We have 2 opportunities to score and make it a 14-point game. We quick kick. We get their quarterback on 3rd and 14, and you're kidding me? He's going to pick up 14 yards on a broken play.
One of their biggest plays of the day, 15-yard scramble, and the senior quarterback got just what he needed. And they keep the drive alive at the 32.
Yeah, because he ran out of gas right there.
Now it's Williams, and he's got a big gainer this time. David Williams, he'll take some Horned Frogs with him down all the way to the 40-yard line. Nice opening off the left side, and then follows his blockers, then turns on the speed, and back-to-back plays are the 2 biggest runs of the day.
Yeah, and when you create a little opening, you get a good block up front, and now you run between the tackles, just like creating a pressure point that TCU did running inside. That's how you do it.
16 on the run by Allen, 26 on the run by Williams, and first down at the TCU 42. Williams will try it again, got it to the 40.
Yeah, and that's a safety again, filling that hole as the 8th man up. Nick Orr, number 18, comes from the 2nd level. That was his assignment. He gives the look as if he's back deep, and he's filling as that 8th man in the box.
Nick and Nico back there, those 2 safeties, number 2 and number 18. As I said earlier, they make a lot of tackles.
And that's because they're committed to the run. And you should theoretically be able to attack the middle of the field behind them. They did it once. So far, they can't do it again.
2nd down and 8. Play action pass for Austin Allen.
Good start.
Go deep. Got a man out there, and we're going to have a flag. We are. Pass interference.
Austin Allen would like that one back.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. A 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I think it was number 11. But
yeah, 5th-year senior sees right here. I got the safety. I know I got one-on-one to the outside. Stutter, perfect play. Got a touchdown. I do not lay it out there. And that's why Austin was shaking his head.
Tejada was a guilty party, number 11, even though number 18 was called. And it's a first down at the 25. So this is rare territory for Arkansas. They haven't spent that much time on this end of the field. Williams stays in there as a single setback, and he's going to get the toss. Will he get some blocks, though? Yes, he did. Almost 10. And all of a sudden, the ground game of Arkansas has come to life.
Well, I thought there might be a lot of ways to kind of start this offense up. I didn't think it would be running by Austin Allen on 3rd and 14.
That was the spark for sure. It's second down and literally inches. We'll call it 1, but it's just shaded outside the 15-yard line.
And boy, did Arkansas's defense need this drive.
And look at how many hogs there are up front right now on 2nd and 1. Williams, I don't think he got it. They had every lineman and tight end they have on the roster out there, and he still didn't get the first down. It was kind of slow to develop. It's a little bit of a delayed handoff. He'll come out. He's done most of the work. Debois Whaley will come in.
Now Brett Bielema has to think forward here.
You bet.
What does he do if he doesn't pick up this one?
They don't have a good field goal kicker. At least we don't think so.
Not in this direction, at least.
Now they've got the fullback in there. It's actually Cantrell now. He goes out on the left side. They're just going to go straight ahead with Whaley still on his feet. It's 1st and goal, Arkansas. Fresh legs of Debois Whaley.
Oh, that's what the Arkansas fans have been waiting. One right behind Ragnow, and they did it. Ragnow teamed up with the young freshman, helped him a little bit, then got to the second level and took the linebacker.
Arkansas giving TCU a little taste of their own medicine. They go tempo here. Whaley only got a yard, though. Nice close from the backside on the tackle. And Matt Wilson, the outside defensive end / linebacker, made the stop. It's 2nd down and goal. And this time Arkansas will huddle.
Remember in that game a year ago, Arkansas had 1st and goal from the 2 and came away with nothing in that game. They missed a short field goal in the 3rd quarter that really changed the feeling of that game.
2nd down. Whaley behind Austin Allen will get the carry. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nick Orr.
Yep, right off the edge. It was almost like a field goal attack right there. Coming from the edge. He gets right off it, times it out, meets it in the backfield. Wow.
And now your threat of play action's gone away. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, they're going to wait till the 4th quarter and decide what to do. Man, I got a feeling this feels like an Army-Navy game. This is going so fast. I thought our first game we should elongate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, maybe we'll get to overtime.
Yeah, it will.
End of 3, 14-7. We'll return to Fayetteville after this message and a word from your local station. We start the 4th quarter, and the fans down on this end, you're disappointed because your team is going the other way into the construction at Razorback Stadium, and there's only about 20 camera guys down there to cheer if they score.
If we go overtime, you know which way Gary Patterson's going to want to go.
Exactly.
Towards the construction hats.
Debois Whaley, the single setback, 3rd and goal at the 2-yard line. They fake it to him. Austin Allen lobs it, end zone. He's out of bounds.
He was.
Cantrell, the tight end, he caught it, but his feet were out of bounds.
And now what do you do on 4th down? Lack of discipline by Cantrell. He's got to stay. That was an open play. He drifted out of bounds. He gets a chip block, and then he's open. Watch him continue to drift. They missed a 23-yard field goal, remember.
And they're going to set up for another one that's close. Fans booing again. They wanted to go on 4th down. Instead, they bring out Cole Hedlund. And as Gary said, he missed from 23. This one is not on a hash mark. It's right in the middle of the field, and it's from 20. Reed Miller to hold to try to make it a 4-point game. Hedlund from 20. Oh, and he hit the left upright.
My goodness. Oh.
And the kicking follies continue for Arkansas.
And TCU did not rush one guy. They conceded the 3 points. You know, I hate to say it. He was closer this time, though.
You're terrible. Still 14-7. Not Cole Hedlund's day so far. This was a 20-yard field goal attempt moments ago, and just listen to the sound. Sounded like a gun went off as he hit the left upright. So Arkansas is driven to the 5 and the 2-yard line against TCU. They have absolutely no points to show for it.
And I think he got maybe a slight tap on the helmet from one guy. That was it.
It was probably the long snapper or his holder. Hill will give it off to Anderson. Anderson got a block. He's got 10. He's got more. Great second effort. 15-yard run by Darius Anderson. And so TCU goes right back to the ground game that's been working for them. And they'll hurry up and come up to the line at the 35-yard line with a first down. Quick throw and catch and pickup of 7 out to Desmond White.
And that's really the up-tempo offense at its best right there. When you can run it and keep the other team guessing, then you can run the RPO and throw the little bubble screen off it. You know, the whole offensive line was blocking the run on that play.
So they've already moved it to the 42, second down at 3. Again, the counter to Anderson has worked for 16 last time, and it's worked for another big gainer into Arkansas territory.
Plays are mounting up against this Arkansas defense. You know, the drive didn't produce any points for Arkansas, but it was a decent drive taking the clock and plays. But again, here they come, TCU, and looks like more of a half-tired, demoralized Arkansas defensive front right now.
Saw the offensive play disparity. TCU right back in Hogland at the 49-yard line. Kyle Hicks follows his blockers, trying to cut it outside, but a nice job by Dre Greenlaw to bring him down for a short gain.
Yeah, you have to, if Arkansas is going to mount a comeback in this game, they have to put the onus on Kenny Hill to be the guy. If they're getting a two-handed boxer, Kenny Hill's going to be so comfortable in that pocket making the easy throws. If they don't stop this running game and put it back in the quarterback's hands, might lose that way. Hill might make the throw, but that's their only chance. They're so off balance now.
And if TCU gets any points out of this drive, time is of the essence the way Arkansas's offense has sputtered today. Hill will throw. Maybe. He does, and he hit his target perfectly for a first down. Sean Nixon.
That was a nice throw going to his left. One of the things you have to remember, when you're going left or right, when you're on the run and the receiver's on the run, you're going the same speed. So you throw the ball right at him. Physics. Remember, we learned that, Brad, in school.
I didn't do well in physics.
Come on. You don't lead him. When you're running and he's running, it's as if you're both. Remember when you throw the ball up in the car and it comes back down to you? There it is.
66-45, and normally it's Arkansas that chews up clock. Darius Anderson's had a big game. He gets another call, heads to the corner, wants to stay in bounds, and does at the 41-yard line. Coming up after our game, stay tuned for the CBS Sports post-game show powered by Ram. Adam, Rick, and BJ will be along with you. All the scores and highlights. There have not been a lot of offensive highlights in this one. One touchdown by Arkansas, a couple on the ground by TCU, which you would think would be the exact opposite when you look at these two teams and their history.
Yeah, the highlight for TCU fans has been the thud off the goalpost so far, the sound.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep, that sounded like a cannon down there in the left end zone. They're taking their time now.
Can they go slow and get a first down?
Play fake. Hill looked like he wanted to throw. He still does, I guess. And now he's going to go down. 4 guys get to him, led by Kevin Richardson.
Well, Paul Rhodes brought the house that time from the edge. Kevin Richardson flushes him, and then he cleans him up at the end of it.
If Arkansas is to have a chance, they have to have this stop.
Well, you know that TCU is nervous about giving the ball back to Austin Allen. That didn't work last year. He took him down in 62 seconds to tie the game up.
So here's the biggest play so far. 3rd down and 12. 3 wideouts to Kenny Hill's left. Asking for the ball. Looking that way. Has time. Throws deep. And tipped. Incomplete. And here comes a flag.
And I think the receiver went for the interference on that play.
Tolliver got a hand on it, but didn't turn his head until the last moments.
Pass interference, defense, number 5. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's a good call.
And that was a great veteran play by Darce that time, number 9. He knew that the corner on that play was in trouble. The ball was floating, and he went for the pass interference on that one.
That's a great play by him because he had his man beat by about 4 yards, and when he knew it was underthrown, he just came back and
he knew that there'd be panic, and why wouldn't you panic if you're an Arkansas player? I got a touchdown, it's underthrown, make it work. And look at him put his hands out like that. He wanted the call the whole way.
First down at the 31, and now they can go back to the ground game, and Hicks and grinding the clock down, 3:45.
Now Brett has to start thinking, when do I use them?
Exactly. He's got 3 timeouts we're talking about. And they're going to use as much of that. Going to be around the 3-minute mark.
Remember when we used to work together, we used to have to remember this. Now it's just right there.
I know, it's pretty simple.
Oh, it's easy. It's easy.
I love technology.
Right. Before we used to have those cards and scratch out a number and all that stuff.
Yeah.
2 middle.
Just outside the 27. TCU.
They're coming. They're all out.
Here's what they've done all game. Darius Anderson. And now he knows to stay in bounds and cut back inside. Smart play by number 6.
Yep. Knew he had the first down. Gets to the outside and says, even though he's just a sophomore, had that big game against Texas last year when he put over 100 yards and 3 carries. And look at that. I'm a heady player too, Coach.
I think he's past what he did last year.
And now Brett has no choice. He's going to have to call a timeout after every play.
Yeah. That's 93 yards on the ground for Darius, but he's been the guy that's carried the load today. And we're down to 2.5. Will be less than 2.5 when Kenny Hill takes the snap. He's going to be under center. When have we said that earlier? Not many times. And here's Anderson going the other way. Inside the 10. Anderson, touchdown. And there's the capper for the Horned Frogs. We talked about him the last 3 plays. He caps it off from 14 yards, and now he does have a better game than Texas a year ago.
I'm so confused here. They were going for the ball so much on that play. Santos Ramirez had him dead, and he went to tackle the ball. It almost appeared, and I know they wouldn't do this, it almost appeared like they'd let him score to get the ball back. This is too big of a lead to do that.
Right.
Man, he ran right through 2 tackles. I think it was...
You know, the 3 touchdown runs, they've barely been touched.
I know.
Extra point is good.
And Brett was standing right next to the official to signal timeout. So that was not a called play to let them score to get it back.
But this guy has been the man. 15 carries, 106 yards, and probably the capper in this game. Touchdown, TCU. 21-7 now, TCU on the road and close to a big road victory. And that guy has been the star of the show for the Horned Frogs, Darius Anderson. Capping a 55-yard drive and 7 plays in about 4.5 minutes to make it a 2-touchdown lead. Kickoff to the goal line to Deion Stewart. Oh, and the ball comes out, and I think TCU's got it. So just when Arkansas needed a big play, it went the other way on them. Sammy Douglas recovers the fumble.
Sammy Douglas, who torched Arkansas a year ago for 17 tackles, puts the game away. Big hit, and Douglas comes from behind.
Ennis Gaines is the guy that made the hit right there, and out comes the ball.
Yeah, he kind of stuck his arm out, got the ball with one arm at that time, and then Sammy Douglas falls on it, and no magic even being able to be tried by Austin this year to try to do, he had to do a 62-second drive last year. We'd had to do 2 of them this year to do it.
And now Arkansas has got to use their timeouts on every snap, and about 1 first down would just about do it.
Remember, we started off the game talking about why this was circled as such a big game. Remember, from here, Arkansas is going to play A&M, and then they're at Bama and at LSU. And for TCU, their big three against the three favorites in the Big 12 are all on the road. Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma.
And now they're just going with a Wildcat here. Alanalua, who scored early in the ball game. He wants to score again and does. Touchdown. Wow.
How sweet is this for the finesse Big 12 to put it to the SEC today?
13 yards of carnage for the touchdown. I'm talking about 225 pounds of you are not bringing me down. Second touchdown run of the day for number 33.
Yeah, that's humiliating to your football team. Back-to-back plays like that. And no one's going to feel sorry for Arkansas.
Nope. They're going to see a lot of people try to do the same thing to them until they can get it fixed.
Yep.
Song, the extra point, puts up point number 28. Here he comes. Shewo Alanalua, his second touchdown is 28-7. 28-7. So TCU paying back Arkansas in spades for the double overtime setback in Fort Worth last year, and Arkansas was never in this game, especially with the two missed field goals that could have made it a ball game. Instead, as we take a look at the GMC game changer, it was the ground game of TCU, not Arkansas, especially this guy, Darius Anderson, having the game of his life. Career high 15 carries, career high 106 yards, and this touchdown that just capped it without any doubt right there.
Yeah, and that was the story of the game. TCU be able to run the ball between the tackles right at this Arkansas front seven. And then, you know, a side story, I think, is the youth at receiver for Arkansas.
No doubt. Austin Allen getting what he can here before he gets out of bounds with a first down. And that will end up being his longest run of the day, even though the one he had earlier was a 16-yard scamper that gave him a first down that still gave him some hope. But
and you know what play stood out to me the most is, remember that early third down throw over the middle where the receiver was hooking up and Austin was leading him across the field.
Yeah.
You know, that there, right there you go, whoa. And that's how intricate the passing game is on the college level like that. You have to be on the same page, and the young receiver and the fifth-year quarterback were not.
That's when he was wondering where Keon Hatcher, Drew Morgan, and Jeremy Sprinkle were. That throw down the middle hits number 1, Jared Cornelius, right in the hands, and he dropped it. Gary talked about TCU's schedule right before that last time out.
Look at the ads. Ooh. I know.
You know you got to score a lot of points at Oklahoma State.
And even Gary said that when he had that turnaround year in 14, he had, what, 9 or 10 games in the state of Texas. This year, you look at Oklahoma State, you're right, Texas Tech scores a lot of points. Yeah. I mean, they're going to earn it.
Well,
I did think they were a sleeper good team, though.
You did.
Yeah,
we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Right. I really thought that what they had coming back, 21 seniors, veterans, and a lot of offensive line positions, I thought they had a chance.
Austin Allen just got totally crushed after he let go of that football by about 3 different Horned Frog defenders. This is not the way you want to end your day.
No, and this is the way you don't want to get your quarterback hurt for the rest of the season either.
That's true. He did get the pass complete out the midfield at the minute 30 mark. Austin Allen in trouble again, and he's going to go down again.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the stats here are on these big new scoreboards, Brad, that they bought.
Pretty scoreboards.
So it's ugly, too. You get this beautiful scoreboard, and unfortunately, you got to put up these stats.
Maybe the last snap offensively for Arkansas, unless they pick up a first down. For Austin Allen, has to scramble, throws on the run, and completed it for a first down. TCU sideline saying he's out of bounds. But the official right on it marks it at the 29-yard line. Got it to Jonathan Nance. 1:10 remaining. Arkansas's got 2 timeouts.
And all these games, these conference games, have ramifications. This is a big one for the Big 12. They come down in a tiebreaker with anybody but Alabama.
Right.
you know, they might be able to get an argument.
And remember, they've got a championship game this year, be it number 1 against number 2, not a divisional thing. And throws into traffic, knocked away, broken
Play. Anthony Tejada at that time saw that ball, made up the yard. It looked like he was open. I thought he was going to be a touchdown, and he just played the ball like it was a corner, but he played it like a center fielder. Could have been a sack. He ducks it, and then all of a sudden it looks like completion, but he comes off and gets it with his left hand.
Very nice play. Austin Allen still look up the big screen on this end to see how that play ended.
You talk about garbage yardage here. The only thing that you can make the argument, I think Brett will, is we needed to get routes for our young receivers to go out there and run routes in live action. I don't know if I know you can see the frustration, and that's not with that play. That's the last straw of a day of frustration right there.
I think that was aimed at Deion Stewart, but I'm not 100% sure. Plus, Austin took another one right in the chest when he let go of the ball.
Yeah, and TCU only rushing 3 guys.
Right. So 3rd down and 10.
Well, last year, TCU had 46 sacks, the most of a Gary Patterson career. And it looks like they got the same guys going this year, don't they?
Absolutely. Here they come with 6. And Austin Allen has to run for his life again. And he took another shot and just threw it in the ground. And it's 4th down. You know, Gary Patterson, we mentioned, got his 150th win last week in their opener, and he said, you know what, I'd like to get to 160. If he would do that, that would make an 11-win season.
Very
He'd
good.
take that, right?
Right. You know, we talk about the great jobs done in college football. We always, go Bill Snyder, but this guy right here, I mean, Brad, when we worked together, we did a TCU game. I looked around back then and go, are they even going to be playing football in 10 years?
They almost shut it down, remember?
Right.
Well, he's put this team and helped put that city in a football mode. Maybe the last snap for Arkansas. 4th and 10. Allen hit, down he goes, and it is the last snap. And again, it was Isaacu from the secondaries. They brought everybody. They figured, well, you know what? I don't think he can complete a pass because I don't think his receivers can get open. So TCU is going to be 2-0. The last 3 years, even though they had a lost year kind of last year at 6-7, they have been 2nd best in the Big 12 with a record of 29-10, only second to Oklahoma, and also 19-8 in conference play. So this is a big nice ribbon for them.
It is, and but for us, when we do games now, we get out of here. We're going to go do another hot game next week, okay? For Arkansas, now you got to go in that locker room, look at each other, and know that's all you got, and you got to tee it up in practice this week and get ready.
Yeah, we can't sign any free agents.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Tough day for Austin Allen and the entire Razorback team. Gary Patterson getting closer to 160. That's 151 and a big win on the road over Brett Bielema's Arkansas Razorbacks. And the Razorbacks have fallen to 1-1, and they've got an open date next week. And then 2 weeks from now, they play Texas A&M at Arlington at Jerry's World. 28-7. Big win. Kenny Hill, he's now 2-1 against the Razorbacks. 1 win at TCU and 1 at A&M back in the day. His ground game was sensational, though. Don't forget, NCIS 48 hours coming up tonight. Next Saturday, we hope to have the Gators and the Volunteers for you. For Gary Danielson and Allie LaForce, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from Fayetteville. Final score, TCU 28-7. The Ram postgame show is up next after these messages. So long from Fayetteville.